Most people have experienced this. Someone walks up to you, they smile, they tell you their name, and 5 seconds later, it's gone. Not their face, not where you met them, not what they were wearing, just the name. It happens so often that most people assume they simply have a bad memory. But that's not what's going on. Your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do. To understand why names disappear so easily, you need to start with one simple truth. Your brain doesn't care about names. Not in the way you think it does. Most information your brain encounters comes attached to meaning. If someone says fire, your brain immediately connects it to heat, danger, survival. Every experience you've ever had with flames. If someone says pizza, taste, smell, Saturday nights. Specific memories flood in automatically. But when someone says, "Hi, I'm Kevin," what is Kevin? Nothing. It's just a sound. A label with no built-in meaning, no emotional weight, no survival value, no connection to anything you've experienced before. And that's a problem, because your brain remembers things by building connections. The more connections a piece of information has, the easier it is to retrieve later. Names arrive alone, floating in your mind with nothing to grab onto. And information without connections is information your brain quietly lets go of. But there's a second reason names vanish so fast, and this one might surprise you. Your attention is usually somewhere else entirely. Think about the last time someone introduced themselves. Were you fully focused on their name? Probably not. You were thinking about yourself. What should I say next? Do I look awkward? Am I making a good impression? What do they think of me? While their name entered your ears, your attention was already busy somewhere else. And attention is the doorway to memory. Neuroscientists call this encoding. Before a memory can be stored, it has to be encoded first. And if your attention isn't fully present when information arrives, encoding never properly happens. Which means the problem isn't that you forgot their name. The problem is that your brain never actually saved it in the first place. The name slipped through before memory could grab hold of it. It never made it into storage. Meanwhile, something else was happening inside your brain without any effort at all. You were remembering their face effortlessly, almost automatically. And that's because humans evolved to recognize faces long before we ever needed names. Deep inside the brain sits a specialized region called the fusiform face area. Its only job is to recognize people. For most of human history, survival depended on knowing who belonged to your group and who didn't, friend or stranger, ally or threat. Faces mattered. Names didn't. Your ancestors could survive perfectly well without knowing someone was called David, but failing to recognize the face of a dangerous person could be fatal. So evolution built powerful, dedicated machinery for processing faces. It built almost nothing for names. That's why you can run into someone years later and instantly feel, "I know that face," even when their name is completely out of reach. Your brain remembers the person. It just forgot the label attached to them. And here's something even more interesting. Forgetting names might actually be a sign that your memory is working efficiently, not failing. Every single day, your brain receives a staggering volume of information. Conversations, advertisements, notifications, sounds, images, thousands of pieces of data competing for attention every hour. If your brain tried to store all of it equally, it would collapse under the weight. So it prioritizes emotions, threats, stories, experiences, things that carry meaning and survival value. A random name, heard once, attached to nothing, usually doesn't make the cut. But the moment a name becomes connected to something real, everything changes. Sarah becomes Sarah who climbed Everest. Michael becomes Michael who saved your project at the last possible second. Emily becomes Emily who made you laugh harder than you had in months. Now the name has connections. Now it has somewhere to live inside your memory. Now retrieving it becomes almost effortless. So the next time you forget someone's name 5 seconds after hearing it, don't be hard on yourself. Your memory isn't broken. Your brain isn't failing. It's simply following the rules it was built to follow. Remember faces. Remember stories. Remember what carries meaning. And let the labels fight a little harder for space, because forgetting a name isn't always a flaw. Sometimes it's just your brain being exactly as selective as it needs to be.